I'd like to call the meeting to order at 3 o'clock. My name is Christy Sabdo, Senior Associate Planner, serving as zoning administrator today.
Staff members present are Senior Associate Planner Sabdo, serving as zoning administrator, Planning Manager Hill, Associate Planner Buggert, Recording Secretary Barrera, and Recording Secretary Argenbright. Members of the public are encouraged to join our meetings via Zoom Gov, a secure service that connects you live with no lag time. This meeting is also streamed live on youtube.com/City of Monterey with a 10-second delay and Comcast Channel 25 with up to a 90-second delay. If you would like to provide public comment, please join the meeting using Zoom or by telephone, making sure to join in time to accommodate delays. To join the Zoom meeting from a computer or phone, use the link or phone numbers on the agenda posted at isearchmonterey.org. For the zoning administrator, to join by telephone, dial 833-568-8864 toll free, then enter the webinar ID. The webinar ID for the ZA webinar is 160-666-5889. If prompted for a participant ID, press pound. Detailed instructions for using Zoom are available at monterey.org/public meetings. To provide public comment via Zoom, please use the raise your hand function at the bottom of your screen. To provide comments by phone, dial *9 to raise your hand and then *6 to unmute when called upon. Public commenters will be announced using their last 3 phone number digits or the name typed into Zoom. Public commenters will be muted until it is their turn to speak. Please turn off TV or computer speakers or go to another room while connected, as background noise interferes with the broadcast. Public speakers will be called upon in order of hands raised. There is a 3-minute time limit for today's meeting. Please stay within that limit.
Thank you, Spencer. Are there any public comments for items not on the agenda, either online or in person?
I see no hands raised online.
We can move to the consent agenda. The minutes from November 2nd, 2023. I did attend this meeting, have reviewed the minutes. I don't have any changes, so they are approved. We can move on to the public hearing. This is for consideration of item 3, 443 Lighthouse Avenue, use permit application UP 230179. To allow an assembly major use. I will ask the staff to prepare or to present the project.
I will share my screen. Good afternoon. My name is Matthew Buggert, and I'm an associate planner with the City of Monterey's Planning Division. Today, we're here to talk about 443 Lighthouse Avenue for a use permit for assembly major for small group assembly at today's zoning administrator hearing. Some background on the site. 443 Lighthouse Avenue is located in the northern side of the city, northwestern side of the city, is a 1-story building with 2 tenants within it. It has a commercial land use designation and is zoned PCLH, which is planned community subject to the Lighthouse Specific Plan area. The proposed use is for a small group assembly, and it would include a variety of guided fitness classes, such as yoga, Zumba, fitness, Latin dance, depending on what type of instructors would be hired and what the community interest is. Amplified sound would be included, particularly for the dance classes. Permanent makeup services would also be offered within the premises as a principally permitted use. The proposed schedule would be daily from 6 to 10 p.m. and up to 2 times per month until 12:30 a.m. for dance events. Generally found to be complementary to the surrounding uses considering the Lighthouse Specific Plan area. Some background on the project to date. This project was previously presented at the October 6th zoning administrator meeting. And at that meeting, the zoning administrator directed the applicant to return with 2 items, one being an amended operations plan to address neighbor concerns, and 2, a noise study to analyze potential noise impacts of the project and potentially address any noise concerns. A revised operations plan was submitted for 2 events per month. There was a note on here where on special occasions it may occur 3 times per month, but 2 to 3 events per month, no more than once per week. Activities would conclude at 12:30 a.m. This is a reduction from their previous proposal, which was for 2 a.m. Parking at the rear would be prohibited during these events, including staff to ensure the parking area is off limits to attendees. A portion of this was intended because the Lighthouse Specific Plan area is very active during the daytime. So when those evening events were happening, there may be more street parking available for those attendees, which is what leads us to the next bullet point. Parking on the street would be encouraged. Neighboring residents may also have direct access to the dance studio tenant's personal cell phone as part of the operations plan. There have been some further discussions with the applicant and including various ways to notify the public, such as providing a link to the planning office that would include the schedule for the upcoming month of when those dance events may occur. And it's also understood that they would occur on either Friday or Saturday evenings. The noise study was also completed for the project. The city sound level limit is 65 dBA. Based on the sound study, which had consideration for with traffic or without traffic, there was no point in time in which sound from the studio would exceed dBA at any point on the property. That is both with the doors open and with the music on. With traffic, it exceeded noise up into the 75, 78 decibel range, honks and whatnot from vehicles. The northern side of the property is where the door is open to, which is also facing the street. The highest sound recorded there was still below 65 dBA. And at the rear of the property with traffic, it reached 65 dBA, which was within city compliance. Based on the noise study, no sound attenuation was recommended or required to meet the city's standards. For a reminder of the site itself, this is the building in which it would take place. There are nearby retail uses which close at about 5 p.m. There is a restaurant here with its parking lot, which closes regularly at 8:45 p.m. and 170 feet away, there is Anytime Fitness, which is a 24-hour gym that has its own amplified music and parking lot at the front. This is a reminder of the site itself. The dance fitness room is at the front part of the building. There is storage, essentially like garage type storage included in the back with a hallway access. There's another tenant to the right, and it's dug into the hill, so there's soil to the left. For these 3 reasons was why the noise study didn't pick up on additional sound coming out. And even with the readings here and sound inside here, and those the decibel of music was recorded as part of that noise study, it still did not exceed 65 dBA at the property line. Here's a better close-up of it. The fitness dance room would be immediately adjacent to the front doorways indicated here. So when these were open, this is when the sound was shown. And a different angle with that slight retaining wall here. And there is some exposed wall here, but there are no openings such as windows or doors. Findings required for the project from the zoning administrator is that the proposed use must be found to be in accordance with the objectives of the zoning ordinance. The zone PCLH allows for a variety of permitted uses. restaurants, bars, gyms, including assembly major, small group assembly with a conditional use permit, which is why we are here today. The proposed use must be found to not be detrimental to public health, safety, or welfare of persons residing or working in or adjacent. And generally, it is a enclosed building. There's existing parking in the back, which would be open until 10 p.m. as the applicant proposed, and would be prohibited as the applicant proposed for those dance events, which would go to 12:30. And it provides recreational and business opportunities for residents and visitors. The proposed use would be required to comply with any condition as listed on the conditions of approval for this application. Proposed conditions on the project include limiting it to the amenities that are proposed. For instance, there is no proposal for selling liquor on site. There would be no liquor sold. The use shall remain compliant with the maximum noise levels as found by the noise study. It would comply with the 60 decibel rating for residential uses at the back and for 65 decibel at the front. Hours shall be limited to no later than 10 p.m. This standard is in here to address neighbor concerns that came up during the previous presentation at the meeting prior to the revised operations plan. And the occupancy maximum would be limited to those allowed by building and fire. Public comments that have been received to date. The first meeting received 5 letters, and they were exclusively concerns on the project, in addition to 1 stop by the office. Since that meeting, we have not received any additional letters of concerns. For this meeting, we have received 7 additional letters for this project, which are exclusively of support from Miss students, a mother interested in dance opportunities without alcohol, feelings that it's inequitable for a 24-hour gym and nearby bars to be open till 2 a.m. when 2 nights per month would be rejected. Senior advocating for 2 nights per month and spoke to the applicant's character. 2 residents feel 2 nights per month accommodates the community's desires, and multiple of the letters pointing out a difference between a bar club environment and a dance center for dance participants. The recommendation from city staff is that the zoning administrator approve the use permit with the proposed conditions. With that concludes staff's presentation, and the applicant is here.
Thank you, Matthew. I just wanted to clarify the dance events you mentioned. It would occur 2 or 3. Would it be 3?
It would occur as proposed up to 3 times per month. It should have said 3 times per month because it was indicated it could be up to 3.
Okay. And then just to clarify, the hours of operation for the classes and the dance events would be 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. as proposed, as conditions.
As conditioned
As
by
conditioned.
staff, the use would be allowed to operate from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Effectively not allowing the extended hours up to 3 times per month that would go to 12:30 a.m. as proposed by the applicant.
Okay, so the special dance events that would occur 3 times per month would need to end at 10 p.m.
With staff's condition, yes.
Yes. I don't have any further questions. Can we open it up for public comment? Spencer, can you let the public know how they can? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have a presentation or did you want to speak on this application? Thank you.
I'd like to start out with saying thank you for the planning and zoning administrator staff to be here today and having me here. And I'd also like to thank those community members that are here today with questions or concerns. I would like to address a few things that were brought up in our last meeting, just to highlight a few things to address the 2 a.m. or the dance event. So I did have the noise study done, and with all the doors, I'm touching again on a lot of the things that Matt has already brought up. But the noise study does, it comprehensively addresses all the concerns related to the amplified noise, considering both open and closed doors. So the studio will not add or increase to the ambient noise level that already exists on Lighthouse. I would like to address that in response to 2 letters from the last meeting, indicated that an event took place at 443 Lighthouse where they heard people talking and socializing. And I wanted to just clarify that I didn't have any knowledge of this event. It wasn't at the location. It wasn't my event. I didn't know anything about it. So the event wasn't affiliated with me nor the studio. So I just want to make sure that was addressed. Regarding security cameras, I think that's just industry practices to have cameras within a business just for the safety of the patrons and, unforeseen things. So I would like to bring up that in short distance to 443 Lighthouse on both sides, there are 2 bars that operate every night till 2 a.m., weeknights and the weekends, all month long. And I'm not asking for every weekend or every night, just 2 nights for the students, for the dance patrons that do come and learn. And it's a safe space for them to dance and be outside of that bar setting. As mentioned before, there is a 24-hour gym that is closer to where I'm to the location, and it's actually about 90 feet away. And there's limited parking in there. This kind of addresses a little bit of the parking issue. That 24-hour fitness gym it only has about 8 parking spaces, and 2 of it are handicap spaces. So along the street and up the residence, I think a lot of the gym members and things like that are already parking, all over the place. And so, that isn't a part of the studio or anything that's happening. So also, I just wanted to share again, I did hear the concerns of the residents, and I do care. And, I'm trying to do my best to meet them halfway, or even more than halfway. I was put back about a month and a half to address these concerns and these needs. And I do want to share that I did reduce the hours, and originally it wasn't going to be till 2 a.m. I was being overly transparent. 2 a.m. would be including cleanup and, things like that afterwards, but the music would stop at promptly 12:30. Parking in the back would be prohibited to anybody during these events, only 2 times a month. I can have it strictly to 2 if that makes it better than saying 2 or 3. I will have dedicated employees to be in those parts of the building when these events occur, to make sure that the parking is off limits. And typically when we have these events, they're shared on social media or they're shared through an email, and it gives all the information of the hours, the times, and things like that. So one of the things that I could have also in these emails, on these flyers, is to say, please park on public parking on the streets, to keep patrons from parking in the residence. And typically, if you look at Lighthouse and you look at where the residents are in the back, people tend to try to stay away from parking far away from places they want to go to. And there are 35 public parking spaces. There are actually more than 35 public parking spaces around the front and away from the residents for people to come and park at night. And that's just in a block and a half radius. There's plenty of parking. And especially in the evenings when most businesses are closed, except for the bars and the gym, but there would be plenty of parking. And I'd be so lucky if 40 people showed up, you know, so with that said, you know, I thank you for your time and I hope you consider that, you know, the 2 nights a month is not asking for me, but asking for the students and the people that do show up to the classes, and that, you know, there is a need for it. There is, you know, a want for this 2 nights a month where they don't have to go out to the bars, and they also don't play music like waltz and foxtrot at the bars. So anyway, thank you so much.
Sure. I have a couple questions
Oh.
for you.
Yes, of course.
So to clarify, the events would be 3 times per month or 2 times?
2.
2. Okay. And then, are you asking us to consider the dance events to end, later than 10 PM?
Yes.
You are.
For just 2 nights a month, I am asking for the events to end at 12:30.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Spencer, could you let the public know how they can participate in comments for this item?
To provide public comment via Zoom, please use the raise your hand function at the bottom of your screen. To provide comments by phone, dial *9 to raise your hand and then *6 to unmute when called upon. Public commenters will be announced using their last 3 phone number digits or the name typed into Zoom. Public speakers will be called upon in order of hands raised. There's a 3-minute time limit for today's meeting. Please stay within that limit.
Thank you. Maybe we could start with the members of the public here. Is there anybody that would like to speak on this item? You can come up to the podium, please. Please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. My name is Chris Kane. I've lived in Monterey, the city of Monterey, for 15 years. I live right up the street. I'm a licensed attorney in the area. And today I'm here in support of Lynn and the establishment of the Vita Dance Studio. But first, I want to acknowledge my wife, Yvonne, who's here in the gallery, and she's also here supporting this cause. We've met in 2018, and dance has played a pivotal role in our relationship. When we first started dating, we went out to a number of dance classes together, and it was really an opportunity for us to bond and get to know each other. We went to House of the Four Winds, which is right over here, as well as Carmel Mission Inn. Those are venues similar to, I mean, it's kind of a different venue, but that's kind of to give you an idea of what this is about. This isn't a bar or a club that Lynn is trying to establish here. In these classes, we got to know each other, and I always picked my wife to be my dance partner. Now, today we're happily married, and that's a testament to the bond that we forged together. Also, I've known Lynn for years, and I've known her professionally and personally, and I can personally vouch for her character. Now, to the dance community, it's a respectful, responsible community of individuals who have a wholesome outlook in dance. Now, the concerns about noise and crowd control, I mean, I understand it. If someone isn't used to this, it's understandable that a person would have these concerns, but they do not align with the reality of this dance studio. It's a place for learning, connection, and cultural enrichment. It's not a source of disturbance. The studio will represent an opportunity for communal engagement, fostering a space where creativity and social bonds can flourish. And with that, I urge you to consider the positive impact that this studio will have on Monterey and to approve this use permit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mike Voss. I'm here in support of this endeavor of Lynn's. I run a fitness business here in town and in touch with a lot of the local community. And what I've kind of reached out to a lot of my clientele, and they both have agreed that this is something that the community kind of needs. It opens doors for a lot of people to get out in different venues. And I'm just here to say that, yeah, I'm here to support that. And that's about it. Thanks for your time.
Good afternoon. My name is Henry. I'm a resident of Monterey. I have family on the peninsula, and I also work out here. I fully support this dance studio. I am a member of the social dance community, and as it stands right now, I have to travel to San Jose multiple times a week if I want to participate in the events, whether it's classes or social functions. And I support this because it'll bring the community that I feel a little part of closer to home. I've heard some of the complaints about noise levels, and I'd like to point out that Lighthouse is a busy and can be a loud place. There's a variety of different businesses there, restaurants, bars, tourist attractions. We have the Pro-Am roll through, we have Car Week. And those have been going on for a very long time, right? So if the concern is noise from the residents, I can't see that this dance studio is going to be any louder than that. So while I do think that some of the concerns are valid, I think they're overinflated. When I was a little bit younger, I used to go to the bars with some of my friends along Lighthouse. And I can tell you from personal experience that those bars are much louder than any dance studio that I've ever been in. So that's just a little juxtaposition for you right there. Yeah, and considering that those bars are open all the time, right? They close in the beginning of the morning. It's just, 2 nights of a healthy social event for the dance community, that ends at midnight. I support this full-heartedly.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hello, my name is Ben Raybold. I've lived in Monterey, Pacific Grove most of my life. I'm also here in support of Lynn and the Dance Studio. I really like the idea of more social gatherings other than going out to a bar on any night of the week. As far as noise complaints or issues, Samsung heat pump puts out as much noise or more than the readings in the study done. So I can't foresee noise of this business or people ever being an issue. So I'm fully in support of it. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. So, as you may be able to tell, I'm a senior. I'm a librarian, college librarian, and a community member. And I'm also here to address, to say that I support Lynn's proposal for her business. I'm a recreational dancer, and I can say that it's just good, clean fun. All ages, all abilities, everybody is included. And for me personally, it's valuable for me as a senior to address agility and balance and memory, because trying to remember all those steps is challenging. And but I think the most important part of it, and how I feel this will really benefit the community, is the social aspect. Because after COVID and being isolated for years, we really need more ways to connect, not fewer. And as I mentioned, it's not a bar. Well, I didn't mention that, but everybody else did. It's not a bar. It's not a club. It's a place to go. I've seen people my age, lots of them. I've seen really young people come. You often switch partners. It's kind of like, I guess, square dancing would be a corollary there. They call out a move, and sometimes you change and you meet new people. So for me, it's been a valuable addition to my social life. And I think it will be that for the community too. So I really hope that you can approve this. Thank you.
Have any additional comments here in the public? Thank you. Thank you very much for all your comments.
We do
have
have
any online?
one online.
Okay.
I will go ahead and allow you to talk. Please state your name for the record if you feel comfortable doing so.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Sarah Lopez Allen, and I just want to say I am in support of this studio. Um, as a student here at Middlebury Institute, it's important to me to have a local, fun, and most importantly, a safe recreational outlet. Um, I have college peers who go to bars on Lighthouse until 1 to 2 a.m. And as a woman, my girlfriends and I, we don't always feel safe in bar settings. And I believe asking for a dance studio to open where there might be a couple social dances a month where I can go after studying is a justified ask. Um, and that's all I like to say on that. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Are any additional comments, Spencer?
There are no further hands raised.
I want to thank the applicant for having a noise study prepared. It was really helpful to determine if this use would meet the noise limits. So I really appreciate that. And it helps me with this recommendation. I would like to recommend that there are 2 events per month and with the hours going till 12:30. So with that, the zoning administrator approves the use permit application with some changes to the conditions of approval. So number 1, after the first sentence, it would state dance events can occur up to 2 times per month. And then under special condition of approval, number 3, after it says 10 p.m., you could delete including dance events. And so it would say 10 p.m. for the dance and fitness studio, period. Dance events shall end at 12:30 a.m. And with that, the zoning administrator approves this application. Thank you for everyone for attending. And with that, the zoning
Recording stopped.
during the meeting.